Hannes, you are one of the representatives of the case study of the bonus BaltCOAST project. And what is the case study about?
This case study is in Estonia, in Pärnu Bay. And this is about storm surges related inundation in Pärnu city, and also coastal erosion that is taking place during those storm surges and inundating events.
And compared to the other case studies, what is specific in the region?
What is the specific in the region is, one interesting case at the moment is we have this administrative reform in Estonia. And when everybody else have a very clear understanding who are the stakeholders, then for us it was quite clear about half a year ago. But now, for example, counties won't exist anymore after the end of this year, and municipalities will be joined. And actually, we don't know anymore who are the stakeholders from the governmental side. We know who are the stakeholders, for example, from the private sector, from the rescue services, but from the politicians, it's very tricky.
The systems approach framework is also applied to your case study area. How is it implemented?
There are some difficulties at the moment, but we are still trying to apply like the others have done it. And we have we have done the system design, and we have finally got all this this model, conceptual model is now finally looks like it's working, but this like with all this stakeholder part is a bit tricky, and defining the problem is also a little bit tricky because, for example, we don't know exactly is it going to be the same problem after the, let's say, this structure reform, because let's say the priorities are different maybe. But definitely it is important that the storm surges still exist, and for example stakeholders like rescue service and insurance companies, they are still really interested in how we are going to apply this SAF application.
So storm surges is the main topic or the main field when you talk to your stakeholders, and probably they are interested in this topic very much to solve the problems. And what kind of tools do you use to communicate with them? Is it more meetings, or do you use also newsletters or something else?
Yeah, mostly it looks like the most effective one is the meetings, and at the moment it comes out that the meetings with the stakeholders separately is the most effective. For example, when we organized a bigger meeting, it was about half a year ago, a little bit more time ago. Maybe it was like too general, and at least the stakeholders were expecting like a more specific approach from their side, and that's why these separate meetings have proved very successful. And for example, the last meeting that took place actually on Friday with the rescue service, and one very interesting thing came out that many things that we have reached here in this bonus project. For example, we have discovered that in Pärnu Bay the most suitable scenario for the future is this adaptation scenario. And the ideas that we got during the brainstorming in our group have been already brainstormed also in the rescue service, and it has been in their plans, but they haven't had any kind of budget for this before, like for the crisis management, for the crisis communication. They have good plans for the crisis management. Rescue service knows exactly how to save the people, but they have a lack of funds on the side where they communicate with people. And I think this here for the bonus project there is a large part where we can contribute so that more people are aware of the problem.
So it's a kind of forecast system that can prevent problems?
Yes, one thing is that actually at the moment there is a really precise forecasting system. So people can exactly see how high the water level is going to rise. It's like an online web-based system. I think the preciseness is something like 5 centimeters. They predicted up to 24 hours before. And there are also maps available where you can see how high different regions are. But most of the people, such kind of maps are, let's say, maybe difficult to read, or they don't want to, they are not, I don't know, they don't want, or they are not making the effort to look all those maps. Maybe younger people and more active people do this effort. But for example, we have proposed such kind of scenarios just for the future and just for the next projects, that one tool that can be used is starting from the kids, from the school, like a role plays, or for example, they are playing through the storm surge scenario, that there will be a warning from the TV or in the internet that the sea level is going to rise so many centimeters, and then they have to make decisions. What should they do? Where should they put their car? What should they do at their home? And we have proposed, for example, to put the stickers on the crossroads, on the traffic lights, what are the elevations there, and draw the like a blue wavy lines on the pedestrian walks, what is the elevation there. Just every day when you go out, for example, from your home, you exactly can see that, I live in a 2 meter and 25 centimeter elevation, so that means when the storm is coming, I'm safe until this elevation, and you have this all the time in your brain. So just a kind of communication that you go closer to the people, to their everyday walking pattern, so on. So.
And there are also some protection measures directly on the beaches?
Actually, this is one difficult question. In the 1980s, at the beginning of 1980s, there was a large project funded by the Soviet Union to construct a dam to protect Pärnu city. And we have actually calculated this scenario, how much does it cost? And we got actually that the cost of the dam is more than the budget of the whole city for 1 year. And it didn't include the changes in the sewage system, so they definitely need to redesign it also. And in 1980s, there was no need for the environmental assessment. These costs were not also included. And when we included all the losses that can happen in 100 years, then we discovered that actually let's say, this protective effect of the dam was quite small. So it was calculated that in 100 years period, the losses because of the inundations were less than the cost of the dam building, without any cost of the maintenance at all. And the tricky thing here is also that the fact that Pärnu is a summer resort, and people are afraid of losing its identity when the city and the hotels and everything is separated by a large dam or something like this. So this city is known by the nice view to the sandy beach and to the sea, and easy access to the sea. And the storm surges mostly take place in the winter time, when there are not so many tourists who are going to the beach. So this leads to this final decision that we have chosen this adaptation scenario and increasing awareness for the people.
Okay, thank you, Hannes. When we talk about your case study, do you have any keyword or symbol in mind that you can share with us?
I think it's really tough to find the keyword for this, but it's like a communication to survive. We communicate to survive.
Yeah. In your case, it's really a symbol, right?
Yeah.